Welcome back everyone, Toy Shiz here, and we are back yet again for another McFarlane Toys Superpowers video. It's already wave 10, can't believe it. 10 waves in, I happened into my local GameStop, and lo and behold, the entire wave was there. So I got lucky. I also had them pre-ordered elsewhere, but when you get some, you get some. So the very first figure we're going to be talking about today is Ray Palmer, the Atom. I love the colors on this guy. For $10 a pop for each of these figures, as I've been in for 10 waves thus far, I totally love them. Here's the barcode for Ray Palmer. This will work across the board for all of them. Now, you also have Garrick Flash. This is the original Flash, so it's nice to get a little bit of old schoolness with these superpowers. You also get a little bit of new schoolness, kinda sorta, with this Lobo. More on that in just a few. And then a total blast from the past for me, because I had the original Superpowers Robin. We have the Jason Todd Robin. And yes, there are 2 chase figures for this wave, so 6 figures total. You can buy a case from, let's say, Entertainment Earth. I'll put a link down in the description below. Or you can go into your GameStop, because the first chase is an Unmasked Batman. Here's the barcode for this, in case you want to ask your GameStop to scan it and tell you which stores has them, along with the, we'll say, Return of Superman Solar Recovery Suit, Black Suit, whatever you want to call it. And here's the barcode for that one as well. So this is going to be an absolute blast. I'll save you some time. It's a pretty solid wave. But sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee. This is a look at the entirety of Wave 10 from the McFarlane Toys era of superpowers. Here we go. And so now here's everything taken out of the packaging. You'll quickly notice that there are no accessories with these figures. But like I said, for $10 each, really not complaining, but an accessory or two from time to time would definitely be appreciated. It would just kind of liven things up a little bit more, but I think the colors do a great job of that. With the Garrick Flash, I have to say, he's pretty crisp all the way around. They have all the character nuances, like the wings on the boots. You got the lightning bolt on the chest, and then you have his Hermes hat with the wings. And also, if you take a closer look, he has gray temples. So it's not young Garrick, it's a little bit older Garrick, and I kind of like that. So if you want, you could just get 2 of these figures and paint the other one's jet black hair, and you got 2 versions of Garrick. But regardless, it's pretty awesome. Now, it's going to have the same exact superpowers articulation. They're not going to change that, because then it wouldn't be superpowers. So it's very limited. And like I said, I loves it. It's retro, it's classic DC, and this is a great Garrick action figure, along with Ray Palmer, Atom. Now, this is one where the paint could have been a little bit better. He does look a little sad in the face, just his expression. And like I said, just the various line work on some of the elements of the costume could have been a little bit more crisp. Perhaps they will be on yours. Maybe I got a bum one, but he's got the Atom symbol on the forehead and the belts and all the way around. Yes, he's just red and blue, and he looks cool. Now, an accessory that usually comes with an Atom figure, a little tiny Atom, that would have been awesome. But regardless, he's still pretty cool. If you look at Ray and Garrick with the other superpowers lineup like Beetle and Booster Gold, it's a lot of fun to have these classic costumes on your shelf in this retrofitted form. With Lobo. Now, Lobo kind of breaks it up a little bit. He's a great figure. He also has a cloth jacket, which I was surprised about. I think that should be something people are talking about. They keep talking about how big he is, but no one's talking about the cool cloth, we'll say faux leather jacket. If you look closely, now this is Lobo, and I would say it's highly reminiscent of Superman the Animated Series' version of Lobo. He has a lot of nuances from that. If you look at the knee pads with the stars, and then you have the boots. Now, yes, he could be comic book Lobo all you want, but for me, and for a lot of people out there, I definitely agree, he really does look like Superman the Animated Series. And I'm not complaining about that, but then now I want some Superman the Animated Series superpowers, because if you look closely, yes, more or less, he is this. Now, around this time, Lobo was debuting. We could have gone his first appearance Omega Men route. For those of you, I'm probably blowing your mind right now, but yes, this is what Lobo looked like before the overhaul. That would make for a pretty cool superpowers. But regardless, like I said, he's awesome to look at. He's a giant figure for the cloth goods for $10, but yeah, he is entirely too tall. He's supposed to be a smidge taller than Superman. He is a lot buffer like he is here, but yeah, he's just too tall, which got me thinking, will he go with my original Kenner Superman the Animated Series Superman? And no, he's still too tall, unfortunately. However, if you don't have the JLU one, you might want to grab this one instead. Now, moving on, we have the first Chase figure, which this is one I think everyone's going to want. This is the Unmasked Bruce Wayne Batman, and he's one of my favorites of the wave because that is the epitome of a Chase figure. Now, there are certain things that would have been cool to include, like a Batman mask. I think that would have been awesome. The cape is nice. The darker gray is cool. He has a larger bat symbol. The blue is largely the same as we've seen with the blue and gray Batman released prior, but it will have the same articulation scheme. I just like it overall, but maybe next time for a Batman, we could give him open hands so that he could start holding batarangs, something like that. The cape is nice. I definitely dig it. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I like these capes. Again, for $10, and you can take it off, and he looks like all those old comic books when Bruce Wayne would get back after a battle and just hang out in the Batcave. And for that, yeah, I absolutely love the way that this figure came out. They really did a great job. Now, if you look at the other newer type Batmans for the McFarlane superpowers, you look closely, and the black and gray aside, obviously, the new figure has a larger bat symbol. He also has a darker gray, which I definitely like. I like both, right? That's where it kind of falls in between of the different eras of Batman, but it's a great figure. Definitely grab him because you're going to need him to go with your Jason Todd Robin. Now, it could be either or. You could say it's Jason Todd. You could say it's Dick Grayson. He's got the bare legs, the pixie boots, all of that. And it does look like if you squeeze the legs, which that would have been awesome, he does do the karate chop action. So that's very cool for me, very nostalgic. I had the original one of these, minus the cape. He does have an open hand, so you could give him a batarang if you'd like. You can pull the yellow cape off. You could just have him capeless, which that's how mine is still in existence. Doesn't have the yellow cape, but the colors are cool. I like the face. I like the hair. That's just a total blast from the past now for 2025. To compare him with the Tim Drake Robin, of which there have been two thus far, and then I have my, we'll say, crowdfunder Robin coming, so we'll do a comparison then. But yeah, around the same heights. But regardless, it's nice to see the various eras of Robin. When you have black and gray or blue and gray Batman, this Robin goes with either or. So that's really cool. Maybe you get two Robins so that in your display, you can have him with each Batman. It's up to you. But regardless, if you have the unmasked Bruce Wayne or just the Batman, yes, this Robin will go very nicely with each of them. And coming soon to my socials, I'll post more photos and videos. I'll put them in the Batmobile, the Batcopter. This is going to be a lot of fun. So more superpowers action coming soon. But the Superman, the solar suit, the recovery suit, return of Superman after his death, quote unquote, kind of takes the cake for my favorite of the wave. They even painted the little silver on the toes of the boots. That's awesome. This figure overall, even though it's a reuse of the buck, but he has that belt element and he has the mullets, and that's a great Superman face. The black costume with all the silver accents. I love this. This is one of those figures where it's right around that era of the death of Superman, return of Superman. Now I want the four Superman, Steel, Eradicator, Cyborg, Superboy. I mean, that would be so much fun to get all of those now in superpowers. Please make that happen, McFarlane Toys, because this Superman absolutely rocks. When you look at him next to the standard blues and reds of old Supes, I like this newer head portrait better. In fact, I wish you could pop the heads easier on these things. I might have to get another and do a little surgery because this mulleted head would look good on the blue and red Superman. Maybe McFarlane Toys, you just make that. Maybe that'll be the next Superman. But regardless, this is a solid wave. Yes, Lobo is entirely too tall, but he's still an awesome figure for $10. If you're not into superpowers, I totally get it. But for those of you that grew up with old school DC Comics, love those old school costumes, and much like me are not really understanding a whole heck of a lot of what's going on in DC Comics, Superpowers Wave 10 is your jam. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. And until the next one, I'll leave you guys with that. Adios.